Hey guys, this is Luke Jano, and today we're going to be creating an updated cloud leaderboard using the new cloud variable limits, which include you can only have 10 cloud variables, and you can only store 128 digits within each cloud variable. So we're only going to need one sprite for this entire project, so we're just going to really quickly make that, and we're going to call this leaderboard. There. And today I'm just going to be setting up the basics. So if you already have a cloud leaderboard, or I mean not, if you already have a cloud decoder and a cloud decoder and encoder, you can skip this and just go on and just create the 10 cloud variables. So I'm going to just call them slot 1 through 10. So go ahead and do that. And we're going to be calling them a lot. And this is just because um, I hate the new I hate the way that Scratch handles using multiple variables. So there's going to be a lot of slaving away at um, just making it so that you can save to every single slot, which becomes a massive pain. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making the typical blocks, and I'm going to be doing that at the end so that anybody who already knows how to do that can skip them. So those are just the encoder and decoder blocks. And then I'm also going to be making a set block. And that's more important for everybody, so I'd recommend that everybody watch this one part before you skip. Um, just because it's going to be very useful later, and it's not going to seem useful until the very end, but trust me, when we get there, it's going to be like, oh, I already created a block for that. Which feels amazing, by the way, when you realize that all the work that you're about to do for something, it's already done. Okay, so now we're going to make a new block, and we're going to call this set. Or set um, set block? Sure. Set slot. I'm going to call it set slot. That's more clear. And then value and slot. Now you can encode the value before you do it, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to set it directly. Did I spell value wrong? I did. I'm going to change that. Value. There. So if value is 1, or no, if slot is 1, then you're going to set slot 1 to value. And just go ahead and copy this a whole bunch of times. 10 times to be exact. And we're going to go through and change all of them. So 10, 9, 8, 7. You get the idea. Just make sure that you set all the right slots for everything, or else it's not going to work correctly, obviously. Oops. You can run it. It shouldn't do anything if you run it because slot's going to be 0. So that's good. Yeah, whenever you just click something, these values just default to 0. So it won't do anything since slots equals 0. Okay, so we got that done. Now we're going to do one more block. I'm going to call this reset. Reset all. Sure. And I'm going to make another new block, and I'm going to call this encode. And we're not going to do anything with that just yet. If you already have the encode block, just use it here. But if you do not, then make one. And we're going to call this text right there. Encoded, encode, dot, encoded text. Oh, I should probably let you know. I have a lot of dots in my variables, and that's just for organization. It's completely not necessary. Um, but a lot of real code has dots, so that's what I do. And just encode 0 tilde null. You won't know what that means yet, but don't worry about it. We're going to get to that later. And then, oops, set slot encoded text. Copy this 10 times again. There you go. And make sure that they all fill their corresponding slots. Okay, so once you get that done, if you already have an encoding method, which you probably do, let's be honest, you can skip it. If you don't, I'm going to do a really quick tutorial on that because it's not that hard, and I want to have a comprehensive view of how to do this. So go ahead and make a few new variables. We're going to code encode.I and encode.j, and I think that should do it. Oh, we also need encode.textList. And here's what you want to do. So make sure that encode.encoded text is set to nothing. Not 0, not a space, nothing. It needs to be nothing. It needs to start with nothing when you set it right there. And now, add a bunch of all the characters that you want to be able to encode. So I want to encode space, so I'm going to press space, and then all the letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That's all the letters. And now I want all the numbers too. And you can do any other characters that you want. You need tilde. Tilde is required. So you better have that. All the other characters, just for funsies. There. There. And when we use decode, we're going to have to use the same variable. So just keep that in mind. And let's get started. So the first block that you want is a repeat until. Actually, just use a repeat because I don't want this thing to over loop. And you want to repeat length of text. Oh, and you want to make sure that you set I to 0. Encode.I to 0. And inside of here, set encode.j to 0. And what we're going to be doing is for each letter. So this right now, the I will loop through each letter. So for the length of this, it's going to change I by 1. Length encode.I by 1. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looping through each letter or each string. So if we have the word hello, it's going to be going through each letter. So first it's going to look at H, and then it's going to loop through this thing, and it's going to look for H. So it's going to go, is the first letter space? No. Is it A? No. B? No. C? No. D? No. E? No. F? No. G? No. H? Yes, it's H. And then it's going to output the value of H that it is in this text list. So if H is the 9th item, which I think it is, it's going to return 9, and that's actually going to return 0, 9. And it'll do that for each character until you get a big code. And you'll see what that looks like in just a second. So let's go ahead and code this. So now we're going to repeat until and grab an OR. Encode.j is greater than length of text list. And that's just a safeguard in case you put in a character that we don't have. Or we've got or letter 1 of, or in letter encode.j of text is equal to letter encode.I of text. Sorry. Equals letter encode.j of text list. And that's because encode.I is looping through text, and encode.j is looping through this text list. So just make sure that you got those in line. There. There. And then you want to change encode j by 1. Now, at the end of this, remember how we said that we wanted this to be 0, 9? We want this so that each character is represented by 2 numbers so that we know how many numbers there are. Because if you have like a 9 and then 26, and then a 4, and then a 56, then how do you know if this is 92, or if it's just 9, or if this is 26, or if it's just 2 and 6? So if you have a 0 before each character, you know which one, you know that this is, oh, this is 9, this is 26, this is 4, and this is 56. So what we're going to do for that is if length of encode.j, let's grab that length block. If encode.j is less than 2, I don't know how I'd get to 0, but that'd be really bad. You want to set encode.j to join a 0 and encode.j, just so that we can have a 0 at the beginning. And then, finally, all at the end, you want to set encode.encoded text to join encoded text and encode.j. And if you don't know what this join thing is, this is pretty much an accumulator. It's a very important Scratch element right here, programming Scratch element, and it's something that we'll see a lot, and we'll see a bunch of times in this video. So let's try it. Why did I delete all? Why did I not show this one? Why did I show all the other ones, but not this one? Okay. So 09, 06, 13, 13, 16. Yep, that's correctly encoding. See how I predicted it to be 09? Yeah, these other numbers I didn't know about. I was just making things up, but there we go. So that's encoding, which is pretty easy. Decoding could be a little bit harder to understand. It's going to be a weird block, but we'll get through it. Don't worry. So go ahead and make a decode, and I'm going to make a number input, and it's going to be called code, and I'm going to run without screen refresh. Now we're not going to need as much here. We're going to have decode.i as always, and that's going to have to be set to 1. It cannot be set to anything other than 1. We're going to want to change it by 2 later, so I'm just going to drag that out. I'm also going to drag out the decode.i block. And then we want another variable, and this is going to be called decode.textList. If you want to use the same text list for both of these, go ahead. I'm just doing it not that way, just because I like portability. I don't like to have to rely on one or the other. There. And then I'm going to want to repeat until. Actually, oh, we need one more. Decode.decodedText. Right there. And make sure that's set to nothing as well, because that's also going to be accumulated. And we can go. So we want to change. Make sure you put the change decode.i underneath the decode.decodedText. That's very important. That's because we're iterating by 2 each time. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looping through this code to find out. So if this item is 09, it should be the 9th letter in here. Otherwise, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is this H right here. So it's all going to come back to that code that we set up at the beginning. So we're going to want to join decoded text. I'm going to show it because we're going to be running this in just a second. I'm going to just set up really quickly. Decode encoded text. It's not going to work yet. Uh-oh, it's actually going to create an infinite loop. Okay. I should save this right now because I've had some issues with infinite loops before. So we're going to want to repeat until decode.i is greater than length of code. And we're going to want to join decode.decodedText with join letter 1, and then put another letter 1 in. Oh, actually, you want to set it to letter join letter letter, and you want those to be text list. Actually, I want that one to be text list. Join. Oh, actually, it's not that hard. I don't even know what I was doing. So you want to? Oh wait, actually, yes, you do need those letters of. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. You need those of code. So grab those two right there. You want. Did I just delete that block I needed? I just did. Oh my gosh. So go ahead and grab that. Grab a plus one. I'm just a mess today. I'm sorry. Alright. So go here. Grab those. Put them there. Does weird block. Does stuff correctly. You don't even need to know why. Okay, I'll go ahead and break it up though. Yeah, it runs correctly. So what it's doing is this right here is just the number that it's at. So this just um, so for the first number right here, it's just going to return 0, 9. For the second number, it's going to return 0, 6. For the third number, 13, 13, 16. And all those numbers are going to correlate to a character in this text list, which is this letter right there. So it seems kind of complicated, but when you break it down, it's not that complicated. And it works perfectly. Yay! So now we're going to have full cloud capabilities. Let's just try. Oh, slot 8 is broken. It's because slot 8 sets the slot 9. Oh, maybe one of you guys caught that in my thing, and or you already commented, and you're like, hey, you forgot this. Anyway, besides the point, we're done. We've got the cloud functionality set up. That's great. So I'll see you guys all here back next time. Better come back next time, because next time we're setting up even more blocks. Yay! Yay! I'm sure this is your favorite part, setting up these complicated blocks. You've got no idea what they're gonna do, and then they all come together at the end. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all next time.